good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat, and a very special day for ET now as we celebrate our 10th anniversary, and we'd like to thank all our viewers for staying with us for the last 10 years, and I hope we'll continue to grab your attention for the decades to come. I'm Mubina Kapasi, and of course Market Fatafat is all about identifying the individual movers and shakers in trade. So let's kickstart the show then, and we have with us on the technicals Aditya Agarwal of Yes Securities as well as Ashish Kyal of Wave Strategy Advisors. Thank you gentlemen for joining in. Samya Sharma as well joins in now, and the very first stock we want to flag off has got to be one from the ADAG pack, given the way the stocks have tumbled. Reason being the fourth quarter numbers of Reliance in front. It certainly has not been a good set. The net loss figure ballooning to more than 3,000 crore rupees, and the revenue stable, just 4,012 crore rupees. But I think the concerning factor is that mammoth auditors report with a whole host of qualifications, and of course the most concerning one is with respect to the fact that they have raised significant concern whether Reliance Infra has the ability to carry on as a going concern. That certainly is something that is very disconcerting, and the stock price of Rel Infra has dropped. And how? Samya, there's been a sharp surge witnessed in some of these tire stocks as we speak. In fact, pull up an Apollo Tyres on an intraday basis, you'll see a sharp uptick come by in the last couple of minutes. What do you make of this move?
Well, yes, there was this bulk deal wherein 1.86 crore of shares, close to about 3.25% of the equity, was traded in multiple block deals today, and that's what saw the stock surging by over 8 to 9% post this block deal, and it's right now gaining close to about 7.25%.
Okay, Apollo Tyres definitely a big high flyer today in trade. After very long, we are seeing this kind of a move come by in Apollo Tyres. Aditya, meantime, metal stocks, and you know, for the most part of last week, we saw a nice uptick and a lot of resilience come by in stocks like a Tata Steel. Today, however, they seem to be under massive selling pressure. Your view on Tata Steel?
Good afternoon, Mubina, and first of all, congratulations to you and everybody at ET now for completing fabulous 10 years and many more years to come. Coming to Tata Steel, yes, as you rightly pointed out, metal have started off the week on a extremely weak note, and metal index is down in excess of 2% at the moment. Tata Steel is down in excess of 4.5%. It's approaching its immediate low of 475, which I believe can hold on for the day on the downside. However, if that is taken out, one can initiate fresh shots for targets of 463, 455. There is massive weakness as far as all the metal stocks are concerned, and volumes are pretty high in the sell-off. So I'll closely watch out for 475 on the downside. If that is taken out, fresh shots I would recommend for targets of 463, 455, keeping a stop at 488.
Thanks, Aditya, for your kind words, and let's talk about the next index that we have on our radar, and that's Nifty Bank. In fact, you know, Ashish, for the last 5 or 4 trading sessions, the Nifty Bank has just been on a one-way journey, and that's downward. What do you make of this move?
Absolutely. See, not only Nifty Bank, but the sell-off has been across the board. We are seeing Nifty Bank has been gaining on the downside, and any pullback is going to be short-lived unless and until we see a close above the previous day's high. So unless that happens, I think any opportunity is a shorting opportunity here, and we can expect a move towards 29,850 on the downside, and probably that might be taken out as well, keeping a stop loss of 30,650 on the upside.
Okay, clear-cut sell coming in on Nifty Bank. Samya, of course, the big news maker and the mover is Shriram Transport and Piramal.
Well, yes, Piramal Enterprises was looking to sell their roughly 10% stake in Shriram Enterprise, and today morning they've sold their entire stake in the company. Well, what we're gathering from our sources is Fidelity Capital, East Spring, SBI Mutual Fund are the likely buyers to the Shriram Transport bulk deal. We're seeing the Shriram stock losing close to about 5.7% today in trade on back of these bulk deals.
All right, that's Shriram Transport down 5.9%. Aditya, a great outperformance witnessed in a Wipro, and it's not just in today's trading session, but for the last couple of them, it also caused the stock to in fact hit its a new high. Your view?
Absolutely right, Mubina. So stock did witness a good outperformance as far as the other IT stocks are concerned. It post its breakout from a flat pattern. Having said that, post this sharp gradual up move, not a sharp one but a gradual up move that the stock has shown, I see some signs of fatigueness that is kicking in at the moment, and RSI is also making a negative divergence on multiple time frame charts. So that tells me that the up move can weaken, and we can see some bit of profit booking. So closely watching out for levels of 298 on the downside. If that is taken out, one can initiate fresh shots for targets of 295, 293 on the downside, keeping a stop somewhere around 301, 302.
Okay, so that's Wipro for you, a word from Aditya. Let's also talk about Jubilant FoodWorks, which is today seeing some interesting action on the volume front as well. Activity seen over there, heightened ones at that too. In fact, interestingly, if I'm not mistaken, Jubilant FoodWorks is also a big mover on the F&O side of the market. But let's get in an exact perspective then from Ashish. And Ashish, your view here?
See, Jubilant Food has constantly failed to close above the levels of 1370, 1380, and it has been reversing from there again and again. And post that, it has broken the support level, which was around 1280, 90 levels. So I think more downside can be expected towards 1215 levels, and one can maintain a stop loss of 1315 on the upside.
All right, that's a sell call on Jubilant FoodWorks. Continuing with the countdown then, in Bharti Airtel today as well is a big loser in trade, along with Vodafone Idea. This after today's Economic Times has reported that the DOT, or the Department of Telecommunications, is now backing that more than 3,000 crore rupee penalty that was levied, or rather that was attempted to be levied on the two companies. Reason being that Reliance Jio alleged that these two companies refused to provide POI, or points of interconnection. This is a case that was first cropped up back in 2016, and this sort of regulators upholding of the penalty would certainly be something big, because this case was a big case that has troubled the sector of late. Airtel now down by close to 1.8%. Aditya, PVR is a stock in focus. We had seen the stock rise massively to a lifetime high when the rest of the market was lower. But now off late has been taking a bit of a breather. What would you recommend viewers do here?
Taken a knock and a big way in trade today. Volumes are extremely high in the short selling that we are seeing. So that tells me that there is long unwinding also which has taken place along with fresh short build up. On the downside, 1620 is an immediate support. Stock has managed to take support at that on an intraday basis so far. However, if it breaks that, I believe stock will slide all the way down to levels of 1585 in the coming trading sessions. However, if the stock manages to hold on to this level of 1620 for the day, probably some short covering rally will be seen to levels of 1680, 1700. But my sense is this will be a short-lived short covering rally. There's more weakness to come in the coming trading sessions. So my only recommendation would be, if traders are holding on to long positions, use the short covering rally to exit and initiate fresh shorts below 1620 for targets of 1585.
So Aditya is largely quite bearish on a PVR, and that's a strategy, of course, that you just heard out. Ashish, Escorts too has been very weak. In fact, after it reached that level of 700 odd rupees, it's just been on almost a one-way downward journey, now at 550 rupees. So in the last 2 months or last 3 months, we've seen significant selling pressure. You as well have a sell here?
Yes, absolutely. The entire auto space has been under pressure, not just now, it has been under pressure for quite some time. And we have not seen any kind of a relief rally happening here. Escorts has arrived near an important support, but there is a high possibility that it will break that important support of 549, 548 and close below that. So that can result into a next set of selling pressure intensifying, and one can expect a target of 523, keeping a stop loss of 568 on the upside.
Okay, yes, the entire auto space undoubtedly has been under pressure. Ashish has a sell on Escorts. Samya, what's the news on Divi's Labs?
Well, this is one stock that's active in trade after US FDA concluded the inspection of Unit 2 at Village Chapara in Andhra Pradesh with no observations in Form 483. Well, remember, this inspection was conducted from 10th June to 15th June, and US FDA has issued no observations in Form 483. With this, the stock, although off from the day's high, but it's still gaining close to about roughly 2% today in trade.
Okay, another big mover today in trade is RBL. Aditya, the stock was declining on more than 2.5%, and volume activity as well, more than 2 times, I think, the last few days average. But look at the rebound seen on an intraday basis. It's a 2% recovery from the day's low. What would you recommend traders do here?
Oh, I would definitely. So this is one of those stocks which have been an outperformer in the small banking space. However, it did correct post hitting a new all-time highs of 716 odd levels, and it has corrected significantly here, took all the way support at 127 extension level which was around 600 levels. So I would be a buyer here, putting a stop somewhere around 600 or below 600. I believe stock will get back to those levels of 700 plus in the coming trading week. So this is a good opportunity for traders to accumulate. If anybody was looking to take a long position in RBL, these are good levels to get into the stock, start nibbling in around these levels at all the way till 600. I believe stock will again bounce back to levels of 700 plus.
Okay, 620 is where RBL is at now after all the give and take. Ashish, M&M Finance again a big loser of late, again today's volumes as well. There's a lot of activity seen over there. M&M Finance, your view?
The M&M Finance has been forming lower highs and lower lows, which indicate that the overall trend is negative on the downside. And I think the stock is headed towards the lower side near 379, where there is a minor support that is kicking in. So it's best to be going on the short side in this stock, keeping the stop loss of around 412 and expecting a target of 379.
Clear-cut sell on M&M Finance. Indiabulls Realty meantime, and you know, it's interesting to know the entire Indiabulls pack today is very, very resilient despite the fall seen in the markets. In fact, Indiabulls Real Estate, as you can see on an intraday basis, was at 117, but it's of course slipped off because of the fact that the market too has been quite weak. Now, promoters have released a pledge on 1 crore shares of Indiabulls Realty as on the 14th of June. It's not just IB Realty, but even in IB Housing, where certain number of promoter shares pledge has been released. So it's positive news definitely, and you are seeing the stocks as well duly react, if not react, at least very resilient compared to the fall, the massive fall witnessed in the markets. And amidst all the fall is also the big ET now exclusive, Soumya, on Jet Airways.
Yes, Punjab National Bank, the second largest lender to Jet Airways, is looking to take Jet Airways to NCLT within 24 to 48 hours. And in fact, they say that the legal paperwork to take Jet is almost ready, and they'd be considering moving it for insolvency. Apart from this, they're waiting for other lenders to give and conclude, and this entire their move to take it to the NCLT. And in fact, if this is the only solution that they see, and they believe that that's the only way to liquidate Jet assets in order to recover from this entire mess that Jet Airways is in. In fact, the stock sulking today in trade, losing close to about 16.53% today.
Okay, well, we'll just take a quick breather right here on Market Fatafat. Do come right back. The countdown of the big movers and shakers will continue. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat right here on ET now. Quickly continuing the countdown of the big movers and shakers, and I want to flag off some of these pipe names, particularly Finolex Industries. Yesterday, a very interesting article appeared in the Times of India where it was written that Prime Minister Modi wants to make piped water drive as big as Swachh Bharat. We are talking about providing piped water to every rural home by 2024. That's essentially Prime Minister Modi's dream. We already know how Swachh Bharat was a very, very ambitious program of Prime Minister Modi, and now he wants to make piped water as big as a program as that one. So it's a massive effort that has been launched by the government, or rather is poised to launch a massive effort to provide this piped drinking water, with issues of water supply and conservation given a sharper focus as well, especially now that there's a new ministry called the Ministry of Jal Shakti. And in light of that, I think Finolex Industries, Astral Poly, all of these companies that do provide water pipes for drinking and sanitation purposes would certainly stand to gain quite a bit. So Astral Poly also, by the way, was gaining for the most part of the trading session, but there's been a sharp slide and now it's corrected. But yeah, that too was a big mover. It was almost 1% higher in the earlier part of the trading session. Okay, continuing with the countdown, and Soumya, what's the news on Kaplan Point Laboratories?
Well, this is one stock that's under pressure today after US FDA has completed the inspection of Steril's injectable site, and in fact have issued 2 observations in the Form 483. Well, this inspection was conducted between June 6th to 14th, and now the company is saying that these observations made were not repeat observations or related to data integrity, and that's why we are seeing some amount of pressure coming in the stock prices.
Okay, Kaplan point down 1.7%. Ashish, look at this kind of fall we are seeing in Tata Sponge, and yes, the entire metal space is weak, but for particularly Tata Sponge, what are your observations of late?
See, Tata Sponge has been in a downtrend, and I think the stock has lost nearly 50% from its highs in just a year's time. And as of now, there is no sign that it is going to reverse back on the upside. So the trend remains negative. One can sell at CNP, expecting a target of 648 with a stop loss of 703.
All right, that is Tata Sponge clear-cut sell. Aditya, look at Repco Home Fin. It's been on this declining trajectory for the most part of the last 4 to 5 odd months. Today, it is attempting to make a rebound. Would you read much into it?
Not really, Mubina. This is more of a short covering rally. If I take a look at the intraday charts or daily charts or weekly charts, stock is sitting in an extremely oversold rally, as you pointed out. Stock has been on a declining trajectory for last 4 to 5 months. That has led to an extreme oversold zone to the stock prices, which is leading to a rally. Probably 280 is a resistance on the upside. If that is taken out, stock can bounce back to levels of 288, 293 on the upside. But again, I have my doubts. Probably it will be a short-lived rally, probably a 10% at the max, and then we can see stock declining again.
Okay, it's a very short-lived uptick that you are seeing on Repco Home Fin. Samya, what's the news on Kerala Healthcare?
Well, two sets of reasons for Kerala to be in focus. First being its subsidiary Allied Pharmaceuticals has received an establishment inspection report from US FDA indicating closure of the inspection. And apart from this, they conducted this pre-approval inspection in this facility, manufacturing facility, from 18th to 26th March. Apart from this, Zydus Kerala has received a US FDA not for omega-3 capsules. However, the stock's declining today by over 0.6%, down from the day's high.
Okay, 0.7% down. And continuing with more pharma stocks, Lupin is recalling more than 18,000 bottles of an antibiotic drug used to treat bacterial infections. This from the US market, and this is on account of a complaint received of a metal piece identified in the product bottle prior to reconstitution. This is according to information from the US FDA website itself. Remember, the drug, it's for oral suspension and has been manufactured by the Mandideep facility. Remember, the US FDA had classified it as a class 2 recall, and that is something that is mostly temporarily medically reversible and adverse health consequences, or where the probability is remote of serious health consequences. So not that important, but yeah, it's the fact that it's from the Mandideep facility and it's a 2% downtick on Lupin in trade. Aditya, it's interesting to know the kind of outperformance that Info Edge has been able to deliver for the last few weeks, for the last few months. What would you make of Info Edge, and what would you recommend traders do?
So I would be a buyer in Info Edge and be a long-term buyer in Info Edge. Use all intraday dips or probably a couple of days correction at the stock post to get into the stock. Recently, stock has done again the same. It did decline all the way down to 2100, and from there stock has bounced back. It's almost on the verge of a breakout from a falling channel. Resistance is around 2270. The moment it breaks out of that channel, I see levels of 2400 to about 2500 on the upside. I would be a buyer at current levels and add on to it on breakout for targets of 2400, 2500. Be a long-term investor. Stock has been a real outperformer, and I'll be sticking to the stock in my portfolio definitely.
Right. Well, on that note, we will have to wrap it up on this edition of Market Fatafat. Aditya and Ashish, thank you for sharing your technical recommendations. Samya, to you as well. But we at ET Now are in full-fledged celebratory mode, as you can see behind me as well. We have some nice decorations placed right here in the studios. And reason is we are celebrating our 10th anniversary. Here's, in fact, important voices from India Inc. speaking to ET Now on the occasion.
Congratulations, ET Now, on completing your first decade of reportage and investigative reporting. It's been a great partnership, and I wish you all the best in the years ahead.
congratulations to ET Now for your 10th year anniversary. It's been a phenomenal channel, and I'm sure that you'll continue to grow.
We provide you with the recap of the entire day at market closing.
From buzzing stocks all through the day to the most active stocks in the last lap of trading. From tracking commodity market, both national and global, to BTST, ATST stocks and market picks.
For a full picture of the day's events, tune in to Closing Trades only on ET Now.